Are there certain types of light that you look for? Do you explore venues for the type of light that they have at certain times of day? And in booking shoots for my portfolio, I've been suggesting that we meet early in the morning or late in the afternoon for softer light, but that feels so restricted. Totally. Are there certain types of light you look for? Yes, absolutely. The lighting, as a photographer, as a videographer, the lighting is the whole project. You are an artist of light. Photo means light, yes? So photographer, you choose what you want your photos to look like. You're not at the mercy of the light. You are not a victim of the light. You choose the style. If you want the softer, pretty pastels, you need to go at the beginning and the ends of the day. If you want to have intense, crisp contrast, you need to shoot closer to the middle of the day when the sun is high. And then there's subtleties in the color of the lighting based on the time of day and where you live on the planet. The light is more orange in the tropics and it's more blue in the north. So everywhere in between, there's a gradient there. And when you shoot closer to sunrise, sunset, you're going to start to have different hues in the air, like a pink light, a purple light, a kind of more orangey glow. You need to be aware of it, and the more you shoot, the more you'll see the differences. And color casting is a thing too. So if you're taking photos next to a red building, the red light is going to bounce off of the wall of the building and hit your clients in the face, and their skin is going to look red. And same thing happens when you're shooting in the trees. They just kind of look bluish, greenish, grayish colored skin. So think about your surroundings, the colors of the light, the time of the day, and then work with that. You said that you're thinking of shooting in the morning or the afternoon for that softer light and it feels restrictive. Yeah, it is. It's restrictive. Now, it's restrictive or limiting only in the sense that that is your time window. If you're wanting total freedom to shoot whenever you want, then you need to have a little bit more loose policy around the style of photos you're shooting. I used to do this because I agree. When I started my photography business, I was like, I don't want to be restricted. It's not convenient that I only have tiny windows to shoot in. What if my clients want to shoot in the middle of the day? What if that's the best time for them? What if someone can't do morning or night? So I wanted to make myself available. I wanted to make photo shoots convenient and easy for families. So I said we can do it at any time. And then families would say, but shouldn't we do them in the morning or the night? I've heard that that's standard or that's good for lighting. And I would reassure them and say, you're right, you're correct, but I am able to take beautiful photos at any time of the day. They will simply just look different. They will be more pastel in the morning. They will be more contrasty or saturated in the day. I would explain that. And then if they didn't care, they're like, okay, that's fine. I just didn't want it to be ugly in the middle of the day and pretty at the bookends. You as a photographer can learn how to take beautiful photos at all times of day so you don't feel restricted. And then once you have that freedom, then you can choose and play with, of all those styles that you know how to shoot in, which one do you love most? What time of day do you feel most excited to work? I love taking photos in the morning. I love waking up early. I love that soft morning light, and I love having the rest of my day free. It's a little bit heavier for me, a heavier feeling when I have to wait to take photos later in the day, later in the evening. It's just, my energy goes down. I'm not so much an evening worker. I'm a morning worker. So that's how I schedule myself. Plus that lighting, I can take beautiful photos in the middle of the day. I know how, but I choose to work in the morning light. And I used to be convenient for my clients. And you know what I noticed? After years of that, I was run ragged. I was doing shoots at all different times of the day. I was dealing with light that I didn't like, giving myself more work in the editing process, because when you do a photo shoot in light that's more challenging, more intense, there's more editing to do. And so I wanted to save time on the back end. I wanted to be able to deliver photos quicker to clients. So by doing the photo shoots in the morning, I have my best, freshest, happiest energy. Clients get the best experience working with me. I love my job. I have fun. I'm not hating on my shoots, because that's the worst. If you do a shoot at a time that you actually don't want to do it, in a place that you don't want to do it, in lighting you don't want to do it, with people you don't really click with, your job sucks. You're gonna hate it. So you won't keep doing it. So you need to figure out what you like so that you'll have the energy to sustain and continue going. I hate getting stuck in traffic for photo shoots. So yeah, I choose times of day, like early ass in the morning, crack of dawn, so that I'm there before the traffic and I'm home before the traffic. These are new developments that I've made in the last 6 months where I've gotten really, like, I want to say strict, really strong about it. Like, this is, if you want to work with me, this is when we're doing that. Okay? You also asked about exploring venues for the type of light that it has at certain times of day. That is a very wedding photography question. People that are doing photos in a certain location, wedding photographers will often scout the venue beforehand, and they'll have an idea in their mind where they're going to take the bride and the groom, because they don't want to have to figure that out on the fly. And weddings are so important and scheduled that they need to be able to go straight there and not waste any time searching around. That said, I do know wedding photographers, myself included from the past, who were more improvised style, because the lighting can change. You could visit the venue on a Monday, it's sunny, you have your spots chosen, and then the wedding is on the Friday, and the lighting is totally different that day. And you're just like, oh, actually I need to be over here. So I'm of the philosophy that as a photographer, every day is different light for the most part. So every day you make your decision on the day of, in the moment of. And especially when you're photographing kids and they're running around, you're gonna find that you see a beautiful place, a beautiful background, beautiful light, and you ask the kids to stand over there and they're not having it. They just want to run over there into the bright sun with the ugly background, and you got to go with it, because we can't force kids to sit there and look happy. That also sucks. So it's learning how to move and flow and scan the area and see the multiple options and choose. It's like, these are my top 5 locations right now for lighting. These are the top 3 where the kids want to go play, and these are the top 2 where the background is the best. This is the top 1 where I have the best ability to like move around and get into cool positions. There you go. And it all happens in milliseconds. And the more you shoot in certain locations, you'll get to know those locations, what they look like. Like, there's a park near my house where I like to take photos of kids in the morning. I like it because it's open and grassy and the mist is rising from the lake. But I've been there enough to know that there's a time window when the mist is just rising and it's magical, versus when the mist has totally risen and now we're just in a cloud and it's too much. So it's by going back to the same locations over and over that you learn the sweet spots, you learn the time, you learn how the light works. You get to know your area. That's the other beauty. The benefit of being a photographer is that you get to go out in the world and explore and get to know your local parks, your city, your neighborhoods, all the little hidden gems, how the lighting works, where the sun travels at different times. Like, you know those patterns because you're playing with them all the time. So it's a really wonderful way to be connected to your environment and your community. And it's like the urban planning and the urban design and the rhythms of the year. Also, it's all in the way you're thinking about it. So if you're feeling restricted at all, instead of feeling restricted, like flip it on its head and think about the freedom that you can give yourself. So I used to think, I'm so restricted, I can only shoot for soft light. I can only shoot in the AM or the PM, at the bookends, at the sunrise, sunset time. That feels restrictive. Now, flip it around. I'm like, I have the freedom to make my own schedule. I have the freedom to choose my most favorite time of day. I have the freedom to travel when it's most convenient to me. And you'll feel the ease and the joy in making the photos and working on them and editing them. The whole process is just so much fun when you're doing it in the window that you love. And it's a total bitch when you do it in the window you don't love. So explore around and then find the one that you like and then go hard in that and realize how much freedom, emotional freedom, it's giving you by working in that time window. It's not restrictive, it's your lane. It's your focus, it's your sweet spot, it's your wheelhouse. In there, then you'll feel creative freedom and just not restrictive at all.